Welcome to another Lulu Ladybug Creations Tumbler tutorial. Today we're going to be making this pastel coffee girl boss. Hi, I'm Christy. I'm the owner and creator. Y'all be sure to follow me on my other social media pages. Across all three platforms, I'm at Lulu Ladybug Creations. And I hope you enjoy the beauty of handmade. Okay, so we're going to start off with this tapered tumbler. It's a coffee cup tumbler. I think it was like 12 ounces or 14 ounces. I don't know. I forgot. But we're going to prep it and we're going to use the colors. It's called Aqua by Hobby Lobby, Chase Rae in Amethyst, and Sunny Yellow from Hobby Lobby. And then our last one will be Rosecco from the Glitter Guy. Now, these UVDTFs, I got them also from Hobby Lobby. I want to think I put the link in the description below. But what we're going to do is cut it in sections because if I were to place it on the tumbler as is, because it's a tapered tumbler, it's not going to go on straight. So in order to get it straight, we're going to split up the little checkerboards. And I think what I did was I'm going to cut them up in like sections of 3 colors. And we're going to go ahead and run it through this Cricut paper cutter. And as close as I can in between the squares is how I'm going to cut these. And I did it in 3s. And you want to make sure that what I didn't want to do was lose the pattern, and I think I did. But yeah, you don't want to lose the pattern because what I was trying to accomplish was making sure the colors were evenly placed on the tumbler as it came in one piece from Hobby Lobby. Now I am going to sand this down using a 120 grit sanding block that I got from Amazon. And we're going to scuff up this tumbler really well, making sure that we get all of what you're wanting to do is get all the shine off of the tumbler. And that is so that your paints, your glitters, your vinyls, anything that you place on the tumbler will stick. If you leave on that coating, I've had my stuff peel off really easily. But after I sand it down, we want to clean it off with alcohol. And I'm going to put it on a tumbler arm and we're going to get ready to glitter this tumbler. Now, I didn't want to base paint it. I'm going to place the glitters straight on the stainless steel. And I'm going to use Mod Podge to do so. Now, normally I would put a base color on the tumbler, but I wanted to see what these glitter colors would look directly on the stainless steel. So we're going to brush on this Mod Podge over the entire tumbler as evenly as we can. You want to make sure you don't leave any clumps because, of course, you'll be able to see those underneath the glitter. So we're going to start off with Rosecco, and we're going to go heavy around the top of the rim. And then what we're going to do once I get the top of the rim covered completely is we are going to let it waterfall down toward the bottom of the cup, but of course not the complete tumbler, just the top half. So this is going to be in 4 sections. So this first section is where I'm going to waterfall down the Rosecco. And I think it's pretty much like maybe 1.5 inches that I am covering with this color. Once I get this color placed, once I'm satisfied with how I place this ombre, we'll go in with our next color. But of course, you do want to make sure that you don't get too much of the stainless steel showing. So this next color is Aqua, and it's a holographic color from Hobby Lobby. Now I'm going to put a straight line of glitter around the second half of the tumbler. Then what I'm going to do is I know it doesn't look like I am, but I'm going to tilt the tumbler and I'm going to waterfall the glitter to where it ombres into the pink. So we're going to do that to going up toward the top of the tumbler, and then from the middle of that line, we're going to go down toward the middle half of the tumbler with this color. Once I'm satisfied with the glitter placement, we'll go on with our next color. Now, again, I wasn't using a base color, so of course, you're going to see a little bit of the shine from the stainless steel, but that's fine because that was what I was going for. So we just want to make sure that we get our ombres, our color mixes placed evenly, not too much into the pink, not too much into the pink into the blue, and so forth. So once I get this color placed, then we're going to go on with our next color. And our next color is going to be, it's a sunny yellow, and it's a fine glitter from Hobby Lobby. And just like we did the blue, we're going to make one heavy line across the middle of the bottom half, and then ombre it into the blue, and then let it waterfall down to the bottom of the tumbler. Now this last color is Amethyst from Chase Rae Creations. I do have her linked in the description below, so you'll find a discount code for you there. But we want to just go ahead and make sure that it's evenly placed. Now, after two coats of epoxy, and I let it cure overnight, now we're going to go in with our UV DTFs. Now, because it's a curved tumbler, you want to make sure that you place them you want to go slow because, of course, it's UV DTF. And with UV DTF, once you place it on the tumbler, that's it. There's no lifting it up like you would vinyl. So let's go ahead and get this placed on the tumbler carefully and make sure that it's laid down flat so that you don't have any air bubbles, because it's a little bit harder to get air bubbles out of UV DTFs. But when you are removing that transfer tape from UV DTFs, you want to make sure you go slow. I do have it speeded up just a little bit, but it lifts. And you want to make sure if it is lifting like it was here, you want to just lay it back down and press it a little bit harder. And then we'll move on with the next little sheet. Now, I'm going to use some painter's tape to make a little border over the top of that UV DTF, the first one that I placed. And I'm going to place it around the tumbler as straight as I can and use it as my measuring so that I make sure I put the other checkerboards on as straight as possible. And I'm going to do this to the top of that first decal and at the very bottom of that decal as well. And this will be our oh goodness, what am I trying to say? This is how we're going to place the rest of those checkerboards. Now, of course, because it's a tapered tumbler, there is going to be some spacing, but I want to at least make sure that I get the top and the bottom evenly with that very first one that I placed. Now, I do trim off the top. I was trying to see if I have enough room for all of them. I do. This was pretty much just kind of roughing it to see if they were all going to fit. But if you notice the top of those checkerboards, there's a little bit of a white, from the carrier sheet. So I have that blue painter's tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some scissors and just trim off that top and bottom. I do speed it up here because I took so long placing these because I wanted to make sure I placed them correctly and straight as possible. that I was working really slow. So rather than y'all go through the whole, get bored, I don't want to lose y'all. I don't want to lose y'all. So we'll get all these placed on the tumbler, moving that painter's tape as we go along. And of course, there's going to be a little gap, and you'll see that here shortly. But I was trying to put in this one yellow, and instead I was like, well, no, let's just go ahead with this last one that we have. And of course, you can see that there's a little gap, but we'll fix that a little bit later. Now, one of those yellow squares I will place at the top to kind of give off it a little, that little space. But now we're going to go in. What I did with these daisies is I cut them out all individually. Of course, I'm not going to take you through that whole video of me cutting them all out. But we're going to go ahead before we place those daisies, and we're going to get some washi tape. And we are going to try to cover up a little bit of off balance on those UVDTF checkerboards. That way it kind of hides some of the imperfections of it not being straight. I know I used painter's tape to place it so that I can do it as straight as I can, but it's, it's handmade for one. It's a tapered tumbler for two, so it's not going to be perfect. But we're going to try our best to hide it, to conceal that imperfection of it not being straight. So we'll get this. This is kind of like a aqua teal washi tape, and I'm going to put it at the top and at the bottom of those UVDTF checkerboards. And then we'll go in with a second color, and I believe it was a pink color that I did, and we'll put it on top of that aqua washi tape. Now you want to make sure that you make sure it's as straight as possible. I know there's a little bit of a curve there to it. It kind of looks a little crooked, but it's the best I can do with a tapered tumbler. So I didn't want to wrinkle up the washi tape too much. When you're placing washi tape on the curved end of a tumbler like this, you'll notice that it kind of has some little folds and creases. So I was trying to avoid that as much as I could. So again, making sure that it is straight evenly with the bottom as well. We'll cut off the excess, and then we'll go in with our next color, which I believe was a pink color. Now, these washi tapes, I got them from Hobby Lobby. Well, it was a mix. I got some from Michael's too, but the majority of them, these shiny ones, these foil ones, I got them from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if I have them linked in the description below, but now we're going to go over that blue with this pink metallic and get these placed over on both the top and the bottom as well. Once you get these washi tapes placed where you want them, we'll go in with our UVDTF daisies and place those randomly over the entire tumbler. Now, when you're working with washi tape, you do want to use some kind of a sealant, because washi tape tends to lift under epoxy. So I use, what is it? Goodness gracious. Let me grab it here. Hold on. Adhesive Apothecary Binding Potion. You can also use clear spray paint to hold down that washi tape. You can also use Mod Podge. You can use, what is that other one? I forgot that other one. Anyways, but there's several methods you can use to hold down that washi tape so that when you're placing your coat of epoxy, it doesn't lift under that epoxy. So we're going to kind of not randomly all over the place, but kind of evenly place, I guess, these daisies, and I'm going in with the largest daisies first around the top and bottom. And as straight as we can. Of course, again, it's a tapered tumbler, so you're going to see the spacing at the top of the daisies further off than you will the bottom of the daisies, which is fine because this is a tapered tumbler. Now, I'm trying my best to kind of go over, where there's little gaps here and there. But what I end up doing is I end up cutting out a little image of a cute little girl holding her coffee drink, and I will place her in that big portion of that gap right there where it's going to show really bad. So we'll use her to, and of course I don't put that part in the Tumblr tutorial because it was at the last minute that I decided to cover it with that. That's why I'm looking around for it. So we'll lay her down, get it covered with a final coat of epoxy, and this tumbler is done. So we'll have here some photos and a little video of the finished product. It came out really, really, really cute. I really like the little girl. She looks really cute. I really do like how the ombre underneath the checkerboard looks of those colors that I use. I try my best to show y'all really clear here of that ombre, of the mix of colors. Came out really cute. I hope y'all really do like this tumbler as much as I enjoyed creating it. Now, this tumbler is for me. Since I don't have any other of these cups, I didn't want to place it for sale. And I don't know. I think I got stuck with it because I really like how it came up after I put the little girl on there. But yeah, this is one of mine. I end up snagging it for myself. But if y'all would like one similar to this, let me know. Reach out to me and email me, and then we'll work something out. Please comment below with any comments, suggestions you may have. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tap that notification bell to get notified when I upload a new video. I want to thank you for watching, and please look out for these 2 videos that I have for you next. Thanks.